Why did I choose IDX Broker as my IDX solution for my real estate agent website? Hi, I'm Lori Ballen, and I have a real estate business here in Las Vegas, Nevada, serving Henderson and North Las Vegas. We're called Lori Ballen Team. And I also own a digital marketing company called Ballen Brands, where we build real estate agent websites. Now, I got into real estate in 2007 after having uh, built and sold a very successful catering company, a big party planning company here in Las Vegas. And at that time, uh, we had started with internet marketing. The internet came out. Obviously, I'm dating myself here. AOL said, "You've got mail." And I started figuring out search engine optimization, and I generated a lot of business for my catering company before I sold it. Then, getting into real estate, I applied the same strategies and methods to internet marketing, and quickly closed 101 transactions and became one of the larger teams in the company and in the top 1% of real estate agents here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Now, I have not stopped. I really understand internet marketing, and I've opened several other businesses in other niches where these strategies work. Okay, so what I want to talk about today, though, specifically, you're looking at one of my websites that we're building with my web development company. This is called a BREW, and BREW stands for Ballen Real Estate Websites. And what I want to talk about today specifically is IDX. Now, for those of you that don't know, IDX stands for Internet Data Exchange, and it's what actually allows these houses to show up on your website. It's also what allows things like this search widget that's up here on top, which is incredibly powerful and generates the top clicks on every page related to buyers and some of the pages related to sellers. I use heat maps and scroll maps, and I can measure where people click, where they enter, where they scroll. When they become a lead, I can see where they entered, what page they became a lead on, what magnet got them to register. And in all of these years of this research, it led me to choose a very specific IDX solution, and I want to talk about that a little bit today. Now, I chose IDX Broker as my IDX provider for several reasons after testing many others, actually. And one of the reasons I chose IDX Broker was because of my ability to customize the way the boxes look and feel. I can customize the size. I can customize how many properties show up on a page. I customize this little active banner up here. Literally the width and the white space on the page, the colors. Okay, so a lot of out of the box quick changes you can make, and then it also has a CSS, which, if for those of you that are a little more advanced or you have a developer like us, we can customize it to your liking. So it gives us the ability to do things right out of the box, and then it gives us things to do as developers where we can customize a little bit better. So if I click on one of these properties here and we go to view details, you're able to see all of this is completely customizable and changeable, how this page looks and functions for you. Okay, you can change the colors and the dividers, and this section here, it says all customized, and I love it. And then what I also love, each one of these little offers here is a call to action that they will be registering for to receive. Some of these require registration and some don't. And then if you click on view photo gallery, this is where the registration pops up. Now, this is one of my favorite features about IDX Broker, is that I can actually change the registration settings all the way down to a page level. So in this particular example, the photo gallery is a page, and I can change the registration, to force registration, to request registration, to not request registration, to do it based on a certain number of photos. I get so much ability to change how I ask or require registration, which to me is a must. If you are a web marketer and you understand this, you need to be able to test and measure this and play with it. Now, I've tested and measured for you, and in my websites, we automatically set the photo gallery to forced registration. They can look at everything else, but as soon as they click on photos, they're forced to register. I have tested this over and over and over again. This is what brings us the most registrations. People find photos valuable. They don't like it when they land on a page and the very first thing that pops up is forced registration. But when they're looking at a property and they want to look at photos, that they find valuable enough to register for. Okay, it's just something I've tested and measured over the years. And I love that. You can change it. Here's another thing I love. So IDX Broker, let me show you this. I'm in the back end of my IDX Broker account, okay? I'm going to go over here. Let's go to Pages, and I'm going to go to Manage, and let me show you what you're able to do. At each one of these pages, okay, they all function differently. Sold, you can, all different home valuations and browse by city and the photo gallery and the advanced search or the map search. Each one of these has its own customization abilities, okay? So I could say I want to force registration if they look at photos, and I want to force registrations if they look at maps, but I'll leave everything else open. This kind of customization ability is very hard to find in other IDX solutions. One of the big reasons I chose IDX Broker to build my real estate agent websites. Next, I want to show you something really cool. I can also go over here to Saved Links, and I'm going to go to Manage, and I can build all of these very special custom links. Let me go and click on one so I can show you this. 4-bedroom homes with a pool under 200,000. Let me just tell you, I'm here in Las Vegas, and this is one of my most popular searches. Our average price range now is 300,000. So it's over 300. So it's really hard to find a home under 200. When I built this, our average price range was 200,000. And 4 bedrooms is another popular search here in Las Vegas, and pools are a popular search. So this one hits it on all kinds of levels. Now, if you look here, let's go ahead and look at the link and take a look at how many homes in Las Vegas have 4 bedrooms under 200,000. Well, today we're down to only 1. So this would be a tough one to promote on pay-per-click advertising. So let me just change this max price to $250 and let's see what we have. So I want to go for I do a lot of pay-per-click marketing and I manage client pay-per-click marketing for other real estate agents. So I want to go as low price as I can go that still has the top features. In this case, 4-bedroom with a pool. Now look at here. If I go to $250, there are 12 results. This is enough. In fact, I'm going to go do this. This is enough now to go run a pay-per-click ad around. Okay, this is a really good a good start for people. So watch what I can do. If I can actually just edit this link. So I'm going to go to Edit Preferences, and I'm going to change this now to 250, and change that URL. Actually, I don't want to break that URL, so I'm going to leave that one alone for right now, under 200. And then I'll change the title to 250. I could just create a new link too, but I just want to show you guys how this works, okay? Now, once we have the link created, what we want to do with this next is click on this button here called Lead Registration. Now you want to force registration, and I'm going to force this at 0. Now, what this does for me is, 1, the registration at the photo gallery still applies. But because I created this saved link, I added another layer of registration specifically for pay-per-click marketing. Now, I do not like it when somebody does a Google search on Google and they type something in like 4-bedroom homes with a mother-in-law quarters or 4-bedroom homes with a pool under 250, whatever, and they find my page. I do not like a forced pop-up on the first land. Google doesn't like that. The user doesn't like that. However, if I'm paying per click and I'm spending a couple bucks to get them to click through, I'm okay with popping that registration up. That being said, I watch for Google's quality score. And when I run a Facebook ad on this, I watch for the relevance score. And if I'm being dinged, if I'm getting a 7 out of 10 or an 8 out of 10 instead of a 9 or a 10 out of 10, then I might change this forced registration to let them view one property, and then I might get a higher quality score because Google's measuring that landing page experience. So my point in this again is that this gives me that flexibility. Now, there are a ton of features I could tell you about in IDX Broker, and I actually do in a couple of places. One, and I'm going to show you something else in a second that is remarkable, so don't leave me yet. One place I show you how to do all of this is when you purchase one of my real estate agent websites, you get my complete training curriculum on how I do all of my internet marketing. And that curriculum you can find at ranklikeaboss.com. So you can actually purchase that training course on its own. And when you purchase a Ballen real estate website, a brew, you actually get that for free, included with your system. Okay. I also have a YouTube channel. You can look up Ballen Brands at my YouTube channel, and I have a lot of training on there as well. So we are IDX Broker developers, and we are very passionate about giving you the tools you need to learn how to use it at a high level, whether you have one of our websites or our training curriculum or not. It's all out there, okay? I've got blogs, I've got articles on the ballenbrands.com website. Just go to the blog, and I've got this whole section on IDX Broker. So I have no secrets. I'm really, really willing to help share everything that I know and do, and you'll be able to find all of that online. All right, so let me show you the biggest reason why I chose IDX Broker as my IDX solution. Going over here to leads, you're going to be able to see leads that have come in. Next, if you click on the notes for that lead, you're going to be able to see an IP address right here. IP address. This is the Internet Protocol address. Next, you go over to Clicky. Now, Clicky is an analytics software that I have built into all of my my own sites, and then we integrate it for our clients as well. What we're able to do is go over to find an IP address, and we can actually type it in. So this is the user's unique Internet Protocol address, and it's generally unique unless they're in a public space, but it's through their IDX their internet solution. Whoever provides their internet, they have a unique IP address for their internet and for the device that they're using, and that's released here through Clicky. Okay. Now I will tell you, based on GDPR, the Europe rules, that you do have to have it in your terms of service that you're collecting this data, and you need to disclose how you're going to use it if you do have customers from that area coming through. And Clicky has a new thing where you have to accept their terms of service for that as well. But we can get into that in another video. Anyway, over here, what I'm able to see now is that person's IP address, where they're coming from, what device, and so they're on an iPhone, they're using Safari, they're in Las Vegas. Okay, that's all cool. But really, what I was after when I set this up is if I click on the first visit, I'm able to see something incredibly powerful. Guys, it doesn't get any better than this if you are a marketer who understands testing and measuring and recording numbers to assign ROI to an asset. Like if you want to know how much money did I make off that one blog post, or how much money did I make off of that page of IDX, or which of my pages on my website is bringing me the most traffic, the most leads, the most sales. We're able to do all of that now. And I don't know any other real estate web providers or real estate agents that can provide this data at this level. And so we do all of this here at Ballen Brands. And I did this all for my websites first with my team because we wanted the data. And then I realized there was a huge gap in our industry, and there's not enough real estate web developers that are really providing this resource and this kind of tracking and tools for their clients. So we built it. We spent the last 3 years building it. And so what I'm able to see here is that this person came in on June 19th, right? 14 days ago. and they spent 11 minutes and 25 seconds and performed 7 actions. Now, that's a pretty strong potential buyer, by the way. I also monitor how many actions they take and how long they're on the website. Helps me create a score that allows me to know how long that, how hot that potential lead might be. And then I can see that they came in on lease option homes. Okay. Now, that may potentially change how hot the lead is because they're looking for a lease option home. That may or may not deter some of you. In my particular case, I know that I want my person that specializes in lease options to work this because she has a special skill with turning lease option visitors, searchers, into people that actually qualify to buy homes. She's been doing really well with that. And so we rank really, really high here in Las Vegas for lease option homes or seller financed homes. And so these have turned into closings for us. So for me, this is going to be something we're still very interested in. I can also see here, and this is my moneymaker, that it came from Google. This person performed a search on Google, and it was organic, which means it was not a pay-per-click. It was an earned-in lead. And so I've got these incredible graphs and charts and reports that tell me how much money I made from my real estate business, or how many closings we had, or what our average commissions are per source. So in my case, Google Organic is my number one business generator for my real estate website. And number 2 is going to be real estate agent referrals. And then it's going to be followed by things like Facebook, Google pay-per-click, other social media channels, sphere of influence, networking, open houses, that type of yard signs, that type of thing, right? So for me, this is number 1, which is exactly where I want to keep it because that's my moneymaker. It took a lot of work to get here, I won't lie. And I still actively work on my Google rankings every single day. And one of the reasons why it's so good is because of my IDX solution. So I'm going to leave you with that today, and I'm going to invite you to learn more about Ballen real estate websites by going to ballenbrands.com. And if you want to take a look at them and do a free consult, I have a couple. This is my regular Las Vegas website here. All right, you can see a couple of the different formats, right? Really cool stuff, incredibly mobile responsive, incredibly user focused. We really get this at a high level because I do it myself at a high level. And then this is my newest one, which is called highrisingvegas.com. And you can see it looks very similar as far as my formats and colors go because I have a brand I'm trying to stick with here. But it's specifically built around high rises. And I know that when you build a website that is niche focused, Google's going to reward you because your website is so topical. So I have one that's a general website, and then I have another that's on high rises, and our next leg is actually going to be on new homes, and we're going to continue testing and measuring how well these niche sites perform also. And they're not hard to build once we have the main one. These other spin-off versions are not too complicated. So maybe you have a great website you love, but you want to build a niche site or a seller-only site or a hyper-local site. Contact us. Talk to us about our brew, and also ask about our Infusionsoft real estate CRM that we also build in. So that you have everything you need all right here on one website. I'm Lori Ballen with Lori Ballen Team, serving Las Vegas, Henderson, North Las Vegas, and I would love your real estate referrals when you have something here for our area. Thank you so much for joining me today.